Okay, so welcome to In the Kitchen with Jelly, 007.com. And tonight, I'm going to use a Ninja to make one of mine and my family's favorite recipe as easy and quick as possible, and that is shepherd's pie. So, what I've got going is, I've got some carrots, peas, and corn. And I've got I'm using this. I hope you can see that. I don't know you can. But that's what I'm using in it. And I've got a pound, and it's not by choice. I had a pound of sirloin, ground sirloin, 90-10, and I had a bunch of 80-20. So I'm thinking a pound and a half is what I'm going to use. That's a pound of 90-10 and a half a pound of 80-20. And I'm sure, it's like any, if you've ever done, shepherd's pie, it calls for, you can do how you want to. You don't have to use them vegetables. You can use lamb. There's a lot of ways. But this is the way we like it. Carrots, peas, corn, and beef, and not lamb. And it's not because I don't like lamb, but I got people here that won't eat lamb, or I wouldn't even try it. But the biggest thing I'm going to say that's going to save a lot of time and make this a quick recipe, and I think it's going to work perfect, is this right here. And it is the pre-made or the prepared potatoes. Now I'm going to step back to see if I can make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. And that is Bobette, well, you can see. And I'm going to dip out of that once it's done. And these have been out of the refrigerator for about, I don't know, a couple of hours. They're almost room temperature. So I think that would help. I'm also going to do a little grating, possibly. I'm going to see how it's browning. I've never done it in here, obviously. So I'm going to see how it's browning. And but my intentions are, and a lot of times I do, put Parmesan cheese on top of those potatoes. And I'm just going to grate it right over the top of them. And I think that'll help it brown, and I just like the flavor of it. And I'm not using ketchup. A lot of people do. I'm going to use this tomato paste. But to kind of step back and start over again, or to get where we're at, I'm going to start browning this meat. I'm going to cut this onion in half and chop it up. So I'm going to use a half an onion, and then I'm going to add that to this as it's browning. Once this browns a little bit, I'm going to drain a little bit off. I'm going to see how much is there because I'm using sirloin. And I'm going to drain off any excess I think is there. And then if I need liquid, I'm not using chicken broth. A lot of people do. I'm going to use beef broth, and I'm also going to use about a tablespoon of Worcestershire. And of course, I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour to make the gravy a little thicker. So, we're doing this together. I'm using the 6.5 quart, although I've got an 8 quart. So, it's a look and feel. We're going to do it with this right here, see how it does. I think if I don't get it this time, I got a feeling it's a doable recipe in this device, just because it'll brown. So I'm going to get this started, and I'll be right back. Y'all hang on just a second. Okay, so the next step is the 90-10, or the pound of 90-10 and a half a pound of 80-20 are in there. It's saute, sear, obviously, and start. And we're going to let that brown. I never let mine, well, depending on what I'm doing, I rarely ever let it come up to temperature. It'll do it within. It's no different than a skillet. So once that starts sizzling a little bit and I stir it around a little bit, I'll add these onions. So be right back. Okay, so just after a few minutes, it came up to, like it always does, it came up to temp really quick. And you can see it's already starting to brown just a little bit. And so I'm just going to, I can see I'm not getting a lot of liquid, like I was worried about maybe. So, sorry about the camera movement, but I'm going to go ahead and add the onions. And mix those around a little bit. I didn't want to have to pour out a lot if I thought I was going to get a lot of, water. So I'm going to keep that stirred up, and I'm moving the camera again. But I'm going to keep that stirred up just a minute. And as soon as those onions and the ground beef starts looking good, we'll do the next steps. Be right back. Okay, so I don't know where to put that, but right around 5 minutes where we're at. And you can see it's going very well. I'm just going to add a tablespoon or so of garlic. And mix that up a little bit. I may even, in fact, I'm pretty close to knocking this to low. And then I'm going to put, just kind of see where my liquids are. And get everything else ready to go in. But be right back. Okay, so pretty much right after I dropped that garlic in there, I did take it to low because you can see everything looks good. It smells excellent. I'm going to put the 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of flour in. I'm just saying. I'm putting 2 tablespoons of flour in. I'm going to kind of let, maybe 2.5. I'm going to kind of let that cook a little bit and somewhat, what I'd say, bloom. I don't know if that's a proper term for flour, but that's what I'm doing with it. I'm going to get that mixed up. And let's see what's next. Some tomato paste right quick. So we'll put that in right now while we got the camera going. And I'm going to put, well, I'll show you. I don't think there's a set amount. I'm going to put that right there. That looks like about, well, I went for 2 tablespoons. I might have got 3, but it's not going to hurt. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to mix that up. And you can kind of get an idea what that looks like. Then we're going to add the, if we need it, we're going to put broth in. So we'll kind of let that go for a minute and we'll see. Like I said, I got it on low, so it's slowing down a little bit because, man, this thing gets hot. And if you watch my, or if you looked at my video from last night, that I've got the 8 quart, which is 1700 watts, and a lot of people thought that was a big deal. No, there was 6 seconds difference in 2 cups of water coming to steam and pressure time. This one's 1460 watts, and the 8 quart is 1700. There was 6 seconds difference, and I mean, I timed it. I watched it. And from a completion time, from steam to the what I had it set to being completely timed out, there was 2 seconds difference. But anyhow, not getting into that. I'll be right back. Let's figure out what we're doing next. I'm not going to lie, that putting it on low really helped. It gives you a little time to think. It was turning it on high. So I'm going to put roughly I don't know, a couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire. I think that is very important, and I think it means a lot. And you can see that looks really, really good. I'm impressed with the way it looks, and I got a feeling it tastes great too. So I'm gonna let that roll just a minute. I'm gonna put about, right now I'm gonna put maybe whatever that is, quarter cup of beef broth. And we're going to let that sit just a minute. But like I said, going to low was the thing to do. On high, it would have been too hard to keep up with. So maybe you brown your beef and all like I did on high, but then take it to low where you got time to think about what you're doing. Anyhow, be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it. I mean, it's just been a few seconds since I had the video on. I'm going to take it to medium high. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid, maybe another quarter cup, because you can see it's a little thick, not bad, but I'm about to put those vegetables in there too. So I'm just going to get this right here and let it settle out just a second. And I'm going to get my stuff ready. But I mean, you can see it looks fantastic, and I think once I put this right here in there, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so I added about another 1/4 cup, so we're at a 1/2 cup of beef broth. But I mean, it's look and feel. You kind of got to do it. And then, I don't know where I was. You saw about how much I put in there, a teaspoon, and that was another tablespoon or so. Maybe 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. And I've tasted it, and it's excellent. It's going to be great. So, I'm going to let it settle out just a minute, and we're going to put some vegetables in it. Be right back. Okay, so I brought it back to medium, but you can see how much that means. I was on low, and I really like that low. It kind of slows it down. You know, you kind of got a minute to think. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just tasted it. It's great. And that's probably around 2 tablespoons of Lee & Perrins Worcestershire. I'm going to say a 1/2 cup of beef broth. I mean, it's look and feel, so I mean, really doesn't matter. But you can see what I'm trying to do now is kind of cook those onions a little bit because they're still a little raw, but not bad. Most people would like them that way. I'm not a big fan of raw onion. So what I'm going to do now, in fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to cool it down a little bit with about half of that. And we'll see what it looks like and if it needs more. So, and I still have it on medium. I may drop it back to low. That low is all you need. Low is good. In fact, let's do that. All you got to do is press this right here, obviously, and that takes it back to low. So, I think we're almost close to putting the potatoes on it. I'm going to go ahead. I don't see any reason it not to have it all. It looked good to me the way it was. I mean, it looked a little light on the vegetables, so not going to hurt anything. It looks fine now, for sure. I think it does. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. And you can see, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I wish it had a timer running, but I'm somewhere around 3 minutes since the last time I turned the camera off. And what it needs, I just tasted it, is that right there. Some salt. And that is all it needs. It tastes fantastic. So, I am going to stir it up, and I am going to let those frozen vegetables, which I had let them sit out for a while, but still, I'm going to let those come to temp. And I think they already are, but we're going to let them sit just a minute, and then I'm going to put some potatoes on them. We're going to make a shepherd's pie. So be right back. Okay, so right quick, if there's anything wrong with this, and there's not, to be honest with you, it is absolutely excellent, especially since I put that salt. But the onions are still a little under, if you like your onions done like I do. And that's my bad. I should have put them in. I just didn't want to put any oil. I didn't want to add oil to this dish because the hamburger meat has plenty, and I thought it would. But what hindsight, maybe put a little bit of oil, saute the onions till they're done, and then because it got done in a hurry. It really is. It really was. So I'm fixing to put the Bob Evans. I'm cheating. My cheap potatoes, the kind I'm cheating with. But there they are. And I think you'll find there's nothing wrong with these potatoes. I mean, I've used them before. They're good. So I'm going to put those on there. And we're going to see, just what this does for a quick, easy recipe on shepherd's pie. Be right back. So I'm going to flatten them out a little bit. And then we're going to put these right here. And this is going to be a little bit, I think it's going to work good, but I don't know that. And it seems to be. So I'm going to put these on here. And then spread those out evenly, obviously, across the top. And I need to look and see what size, and I will. I can't remember if this is I don't know, but it seems to work perfect. It looks so far. Let's look. Heck, let's look. It's a 32-ounce carton of Bob Evans family size mashed potatoes, and we're going to use every bit of it because for a foodie, I think even the even if you were using the 8-quart, the diameter is the same. So now all we got to do is find something I can press this down with. So I'm going to move this camera so I can do that without, I don't want it on top of there. So I'm going to move the camera and turn this off just a second. And all I'm going to do is try and press this out to the edges. And I'm going to find something different. So I'll be right back. All right, just so you know, I found this spoon right here. And I'm not sure I'm going to video all of it. There's no need in y'all watching all this. But you want it all the way to the edge because you don't want oops, you don't want that kind of stuff happening. So we're going to poke that back in there. And I may have to clean that spoon just a little bit. You know, I don't want, I'm going to brown the potatoes. So you don't want a bunch of stuff on there other than potato. And I'm also going to take a fork and for the fun of it, I'm going to try and kick up some edges to where it will, I don't know, brown the tips a little bit, you know, for looks, if nothing else. But just because I can. But you can see that worked pretty good. Okay, so you may can see what I'm trying to do. I'm just giving it something that will, in an oven, and I'm assuming on here too, but now we're a little bit far from that element. You can see that element's going to be about 3 inches from it, but in an oven, these high points will kind of brown and make a design. Okay, we're going to see what it looks like at around 5 minutes or so. But now, I'm going to tell you, it's a little distant from that element. And you know what though? It's browning it a little bit. As a matter of fact, it don't look bad. So that's 5 minutes. We're gonna let it go the full 10 probably. We'll see. And it looks excellent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That can be served just like it is. But I'm going to grate a little bit of Parmesan. Get this just right. I mean, if you see it, it shells it out. These things are really nice to have. And I'm gonna see what it'll do. You know, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. In fact, I might have more cheese on it than I meant. But I'm going ahead, obviously. So I didn't use but about 1/4 inch of that block. I'd like to get it all the way in the corners. And I probably could do that real easy. But we're going to lay the lid back down. Let it go. Okay, so as you can see, I'm down to 3 minutes. I want to look, and I think I can smell that cheese. And I think it's done. That looks excellent to me. I mean, you could have pitched up some of those, you know, the potato a little bit, got some, you know, with something to maybe take the back of a spoon and cause it to curl. If you're just looking for, you know, if you're looking for aesthetics or looking good, but that looks great. There's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, we're going to set this out where it can kind of cool. In fact, I don't want to leave it in this vessel or whatever you want to say because it's going to stay really hot. And I'm going to let it rest right there for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to get a bowl out. I'm going to try and do it like this right here. This round pan makes it a little tricky. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I have a feeling that's going to be some of the best I've ever had. But we're going to wait and see. I'm not calling it just yet. And we're going to leave that. I might get just a little bit more out of there. So, we're going to do that. This is a very good recipe and quick, easy, and feed your whole family. And I'll show this right here. This is something I showed the other night, but I might have to look to see, make sure you can see what I mean. But I mean, it's obvious. This is a lid from one of my skillets that I've bought over the years. I mean, and then you can see right here. In fact, that's how it looks. This is how the shepherd's pie looks. There's the potatoes on top. I mean, it looks fantastic. So tomorrow night, I mean, I'll put this in the refrigerator. Again, I gotta make sure you can see it. I'll put this lid on it. I'll set that in the refrigerator. Tomorrow, when I come in, or I'll set this in this, back in the Ninja. I'll hit the one of the features here, slow cook, or depending on how fast I want it done. But say what I did the other day with the chicken nachos was slow cook, and I put it on high. And in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, it was plenty warm. I got a feeling this will do the same thing. So anyhow, what I'm getting at is In the Kitchen with Jelly. That's jelly007.com. Y'all come back to see me, and this is a great recipe. Try it, and especially if you like shepherd's pie, try this one. It's quick and easy. Like, share, subscribe, all of the above. I love y'all all. Come back to see me. Y'all have a good night, and bye.